Hi, welcome to A Moment in Time with Taylor. Thank you guys so much for everyone who makes this show possible at the link in the description, nextjuice.com/support. You guys are amazing, generous souls. I appreciate that. I know it can be a cash-strapped month here in December with the holidays. And I appreciate all of your generosity and support even during this time. And I did get a bunch of gifts in the mail today too, which I will do a broadcast about afterwards, probably just on Periscope. And I will thank you and shout out everyone who sent me gifts and show you what they are. Banana, I was just thinking about you just like 2 days ago. Hi, I love you, I love you, I love you. How are you? Banana is a monthly supporter of this channel, and every monthly supporter of this channel gets entered to win $100 every single month on the 17th of the month. And we like to play games on this channel. I don't have super hearts on, so I could talk about all this. And with Survivor, we had a pool going. So we're going to recap the Survivor Season 39, Island of the Idols season finale, as well as the reunion, and talk about how that worked out with our pool and who ended up winning the $100. You can probably already tell because they are tagged in the title of the broadcast on Periscope. If you don't know, I'm Taylor. I go live on Periscope every single day, 7 days a week, for 3 hours a day with positive content. So I hope that I will see you guys again. If you're not already following, you can do that. Hey, Daryl. Hey, Chris. Hola. Gracias. You're going to DM me. Okay, good. I love you too. Mwah. Love Squirts has actually won the $100 before. I see Frankie. Frankie's a monthly supporter of the channel as well. So much fun. Okay, so I know that the finale was 2 days ago, and a lot of you guys already saw it and already know everything that happened. But for those of you who don't, I will recap it for you like I did every single week throughout the season. And I'm excited for season 40, which is coming next. Which let's finish up season 39, and then we'll get into season 40, which is an all-winners season. Hey, King. All right. So it started out with the final 5. So let's recap who the final 5 are. So this was the entire cast of the season. And the final 5 was it 5? Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Lauren, Janet, Dean, Nora, and Tommy. So those were our final 5. Everyone else had been voted out prior to this. So it starts in with a lot of discussion about who's going to be going to the final 3, the final 2, but for final 5, there's still an immunity challenge. There's still 2 more immunity challenges. So once they get to the final 4, the person who wins the immunity challenge for the final 4 gets to pick who they bring with them and is guaranteed a spot in the final 3, and then the other 2 people have to make fire against each other to earn their way into the final 3. And then the jury, the last 10 or so people who were voted out before them, get to pick the final winner. And if you don't know, the winner of Survivor wins $1 million. $1 million cash. And I love that I wore this shirt for this today because it's a very deceptive show. It's nothing about trust. Everyone wants you to trust them and think that you trust them, but everyone wants to trust you and get you to trust them, but you should never trust anyone. If you go on the show Survivor, take it from me. I've never been on it, so I don't know why you would take it from me, but do not trust them if they say anything about how they swear on anything. It does not matter. Derek, you were so close. You were so close. So we had 18 of us that were all in a pool. We each put in $5 into Venmo, and we all got randomly assigned to one of the cast members. So I was assigned to Jamal, who got voted out several weeks ago. This entire thing was Derek's idea. You did not win. And he was assigned to Nora, who actually made it quite far, as I just said. She was in the final 5, and I'll go into what happened next. Sometimes I can't trust anyone. I don't know what to say. I mean, it's all about being open because the real world is much different than the game of Survivor. But I have a lot that I want to say about this. Okay, so DTA, don't trust anyone. You got it, Bradley. Exactly. I love seeing my Survivor fan friends in here. All right, so it started out with the final 5, and who won immunity? I should make notes for these. This was a long one. This was like a 2-hour season finale followed by a 1-hour reunion, I want to say. Am I right about that, or was it 1 hour and 1 hour? I think it was 2-hour finale and then an hour. It was so much content that I probably should have actually taken notes. I have a pretty good memory, but I don't know if I remember everything that happened right off the top of my head. So the final 5 challenge, the immunity challenge, I know who didn't win. I know Lauren didn't win. Wait, did she win? Wait. I know Janet didn't win. I'll put it that way. Was it Dean? I think it was Dean. Did Dean win? Did he won immunity for final 5? What was the challenge? Why can't I remember this? With the puzzle, but I thought that was, or no, okay, yes, this was the thing where they had to climb the ladder. Okay, so I'm blanking on a little bit of the details here, but they basically had to build a ladder and climb up it, and when they got to the top of the ladder, I think there was something before the ladder too. They had these hooks. That's okay, it's coming back to me here, sorry. I don't remember everything because I watched it 2 nights ago, but anyway, so they have these big hooks, like grappling hooks, do they call them? And they're knocking off these ropes that are attached to ladder pieces, I think. And then they gather up all the ropes, which got them the pieces for the ladder. Oh, it was a rope ladder, that's what it was. Yeah, so they gather up all these ropes, they go over and they make a ladder, and the rungs are the ropes that they just knocked off. They build the ladder, they have to climb up the ladder. When they get to the top of the ladder, then they do a puzzle. And the puzzle was a pirate's puzzle, black background with a white skull and crossbones on it. And it was whoever built that puzzle first won immunity. Now, Dean did win immunity. Janet was really struggling to get up the rope ladder. She was shaking a lot. Her legs were shaking. It's kind of sad to watch it. I felt really bad, but she did actually make it to the top. I think they all made it to the top, and they were all trying, but Dean ultimately ended up winning immunity. My favorite, Dean. Yeah, hey, Daniel. And thank you for your extra contribution, Daniel. That was really awesome. So Dean, I don't particularly care for Dean, but I will say that I think that Dean deserved to win Survivor. I'm trying not to give away whether or not he did win yet, although some of you guys already know. I think that he deserved to win, even though he's not my favorite. Same thing with Mickey in Big Brother. I think Mickey deserved to win Big Brother. I don't like Mickey, but I still think that he deserved to win because it's a game, right? So if we're playing a board game together, it doesn't matter if I like you or not. If you play the game better than I do, you deserve to win, just because I'm a nicer person or whatever. Like, we're watching, we love Elaine, we love Janet, and they're like, we want them to win because we love them, but it's not necessarily that they play the game as good as someone else. So I don't know, I'm getting ahead of myself because I want to talk about who won, but let's start with that. So Dean wins immunity, so he has the power. He's the only one immune from going home, and everyone's kind of trying to whisper in his ear and get him to like protect them. Sorry, there's Tommy, Lauren, Janet, and Nora, so it's actually mostly women. And he also won a reward, so I think it was immunity and reward in 2. And he decided to take Nora. It was a food. It was like fancy food, delicious food, and drinks, and I don't remember everything that they were eating. Sorry, I've also been watching an old season of Survivor right now, so some of it's overlapping in my head, and I apologize for that. I'm watching season 7, Pearl Islands, right now, but regardless. So he decides to take Nora because he wants to build amends. He wants to make amends. He wants to rebuild that relationship because he feels like their relationship is the rockiest of all. But it was really smart because he knew that if he's sitting next to Nora, he has a better chance of winning than if he's sitting up next to Lauren, Tommy, or Janet, which are the only other people left. So he's trying to build that relationship because he's trying to get a final 2 with Nora because he thinks he has the best chance against her. And I think a lot of people felt that way, which is probably why she made it as far as she did. So I also think Nora was pretty impressive. She won several immunity challenges and was really entertaining to watch. Probably one of, if not the most entertaining people to watch on the entire season, in my opinion. 2 balls into 2 holes. So many innuendos about balls were made. Wait, what was the rope ladder thing? What do you mean, balls into holes? Hi, Thomas. Yeah, Jim Ulmer. Snake number 1 reported for duty. You play to win the game. It's a game. Right. Dean's head tilt. Seriously, he does that. And I noticed at the reunion, he wasn't sitting like he normally sat. And I wonder if he watched the season and was like, do I always sit like that? Why do I sit like that? Why do I look like that? Because he didn't look like that at the reunion. He wasn't like crossed arms, crossed legs, and the, typical kind of like slithery, snaky look that he had. Hi, Dion. Plot twist of the century. Nora was a wildcat. Nora was entertaining. Exactly. Yeah, so I don't know, the ball thing. What was it? Balls and then hooks? I don't know. I know they had to build a rope ladder and climb up it. I don't know. Watch it if you don't know what happened. You can watch it on CBS.com. Okay. So you had to use the ropes to make the ladder, then make 2 balls in a maze into 2 holes. Oh, what was the puzzle that I'm thinking of? That might be from season 7. I'm sorry, you guys. So I'm all excited about the All Winners season, and I just learned, like, last week, I think it was, I learned while I was live, I was like, what? I think I was live, that Sandra is the only person in history of this show, which has been on for 20 years and almost 40 seasons, to win Survivor twice. So she's won $2 million from the show, and I just thought that was so cool. And I'm like, what seasons did she win? And I just wanted to watch that so bad, so I started watching season 7 last week, and the puzzle, the pirate puzzle, is most likely from that season. Okay, so it was a maze. They had to wiggle these, I do remember that, the ball, like, around these little barriers. That really reminded me of Big Brother. I feel like that's a very Big Brother-ish type challenge, where you're wiggling the balls down the maze into 2 holes, and Dean got the furthest hole first, and then the closer one, which I think is the smart way to do it. Do the hardest thing first, and then do the easier thing, because you'll go faster. And I think Mickey used that strategy on Big Brother a lot also. So we're mixing all different shows and seasons in this review, and I apologize. So I also apologize for the sniffing. I think I got sick while I was in Florida. On my way home today, when the plane was landing, I started getting really sniffly and congested. So my apologies for the sham of a broadcast that this is. Hey, Clowny. I wasn't being dirty with 2 balls, 2 holes. That's fine. I didn't think you were. I did remember that. I just couldn't remember in what order everything was happening. Right, yeah. So thank you guys. What would I do without you? If you guys weren't here, half the people that follow me don't even watch Survivor, and they would never have corrected me. So thank you. I owe you all a lot. But Dean did win, and he took Nora, and they had this romantic date, and Nora fell in love with Dean, from what I could tell. She really enjoyed the attention. She was talking about, they've been on this island for 40 days. They are not seeing anyone else. I mean, they probably have, like, the camera crew and production team, but they're not really talking and getting to know anyone as much as each other. So over time, Dean's starting to look more and more attractive to Nora, and she's just like, oh, he's so beautiful, such a beautiful man. She's just totally, like, ogling him. She's always looking at him. She's doing her confessional to the camera, and she gets distracted by Dean stretching by the water or something. She's like, oh, Dean's stretching over there, and he's doing yoga. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if he just does yoga or if he's using that to get Nora's loyalty to him, because she's either a yoga teacher or some type of yogini. I mean, she does yoga regularly. Yeah, he's over there doing, like... He's doing, like, a lunge and opening to the side, twisting, and it's just so funny. Me and Edward dying laughing at that, because it's just, like, he even said, it's purely gameplay, because she's like, you're flirting with me, he's like, it's just gameplay, it's just playing the game, and she was, like, not hearing that. She's like, what's your sign, and all this stuff, and he was like, he said in his confessional, I called him, that he did not want to be there with Nora, listening to her go on and on and on, but for the game, I think it was a good call, because she was like, oh, she loved him. That was great. So that was really entertaining to watch. I really enjoyed that. Then from there, they went to Tribal Council, and they talked a lot in this Tribal Council about how Janet is the fire lady. Oh, before this, they all moved to the Island of the Idols. So they all go to Island of the Idols together all at once, and that becomes their new home. So they leave the old place they were staying, and now they're here on Island of the Idols, and this becomes their home. They finally, I think Tommy was the only one who hadn't yet gone to Island of the Idols, so he sees Sandra and Rob for the first time, meets them. They give them all these limited edition Survivor Island of the Idol buffs, which you see people wearing in the audience in at the reunion, because me and Ed were making jokes about how they're going to start selling those buffs immediately. They're not limited edition, right? They're just going to sell them immediately to merchandise and make money off of them. And sure enough, you see like little kids in the audience with their limited edition buffs. Hey, Tressa. So I probably should have brushed my hair before going live. It's fine. The gift that was left. Don't forget. Oh, yeah. No, I won't. So they're all like, oh, it's so good to meet you. So good to see you. You guys are on your own now. Like, you know, have a great time. They ride off into the sunset on their boat. It wasn't sunset, but they just ride off on their boat and they're gone. So now the Survivor crew or cast is there, and they're now living Island of the Idols. There's all this fruit, there's chickens, there's like a nice stone oven, a stone stove. It's like a really nice, it's not just a fire pit, it's like a really legit awesome place. It's like their house is up on like stilts, and it's like paradise, you know, way big upgrade from where they had been living and staying. So they're all relaxing, chilling, they're swimming, Daniel, they're swinging around on this swing they have. Like, this place is great. They're eating all the food, they're all having this great time, all just like relaxing in the lap of luxury. Well, Tommy is looking at his buff and he's like, I'm looking for a clue here. He's like, everything's always a clue. And he's like, and it's the end of the season. There's not like just nothing. We're just sitting here and nothing's happening. We come to Island of the Idols. Why? What is the meaning of this? What is the purpose? Matt, thank you for inviting your followers. And he's looking at the buff and he notices that instead of, I think it was like normally a scroll on their normal flag, there was actually a sword, a machete instead. And he says, okay, machete. And he starts noticing machetes around the island. So he's like looking at them. He's trying to see where they're pointed. He's like really, you know, they're kind of making him out to seem like he's like kind of losing it. Like, is it really a clue, or is he just like crazy, you know? He's just like trying to find something. He's desperate to solve something, do something. He's trying to keep himself busy. And then he finds a machete in a coconut. So it's like, it's in the middle of it. It's kind of cracked open, and the machete's sitting in it. And he sees it and he opens it, and the coconut is colored red or pink, and he's colorblind. So he's like, I don't know what color this is. I have no idea like what I'm looking at, what this clue means or what it is. Like, what is this? So he actually tells Dean that he found the clue, he found the machete, he found this coconut, he's colorblind, help him out. And you know, everyone watching is probably thinking the same thing. Why is he telling Dean this? Like, why is he telling Dean about the clues? And he's saying to him, well, if you find it, then you have to give it to me. Like, I'm telling you about this. I'm telling you about the clues that I figured out, so you owe me whatever it is at the end of this scavenger hunt, so to speak. Hey, Danny. And Dean's like, yeah, of course. And you're sitting there going, no, he's never going to do that. I don't know what you mean, MT. Are you talking about me? I haven't dropped any frames, so if for some reason you're having issues with connection, maybe check your connection, and you can also watch on YouTube. I'm live on YouTube right now, too. I don't know what's up, but I'm distracted, but that's okay. Okay, sorry, focus. Itch my nose. So what happens next? So they find the coconut with the red. I forget what the clue was between this and then the H symbol. So they find this like H symbol on something. What was the first place they found it? It looks like two lines with a line through it. So he's like, is it an H? Does it stand for something as an H? Is it some trees that look like this? Is it sticks on the ground? And he's looking all around the area trying to find this shape. And he tells Dean about this as well, which everyone is like, why is he doing this? Because Dean had told him about all his advantages throughout the season, which I also was wondering why he did that. He told him about the legacy advantage and the idol nullifier and kind of showed his hand. They were both showing their hands to each other, you know? So Dean's kind of like acting like, oh yeah, man, I don't know. He's like, I really have to poop, so like, I'll let you know if I think of anything, you know, because he's showing him the symbol. He's like, what is it? What could it mean? Dean's like, I don't freaking know. So he goes and he poops or whatever, comes back. He's just chilling, and Tommy's all frustrated, right? He's like, Dean's not helping me at all. He doesn't seem to, like, care about this, or he doesn't think they're clues or something. You know, he's really, Dean played it really, they call him DK chilling. Like, he's just, like, chilling. He doesn't even care. He's just like, I don't know what that is. He's just putting no effort forward. Well, then he's pink plank. Oh, there was a pink plank. I totally don't remember that. Why don't I remember that? There was a pink plank, and they looked under there, and that's where the H was. Oh yeah, they like pulled it up. Why don't I remember that? So this is the season finale boxing. It happened 2 nights ago, so it's over. But there's a new season coming in February. So Dean's swinging on the swing, or he looks at the swing, something, and he notices that the swing is in the shape of that. It's 2 lines like this, because like a rope swing, and then the plank, and there's extra string hanging off the bottom of it, so it looks kind of like an H. And he looks at that and he's like, okay, so he's just acting real cool. Like, he's just on the swing, he's swinging, la la la. He sees Tommy go down to the water, and he's like, so he starts looking around. He's like looking around at the planks and everything, and he sees on the actual structure, on one of the walls, basically, or one of the columns of the structure where they sit and eat and sleep, he sees another symbol, that H, and he's like, oh baby, this is it. And he realizes, oh yeah, this is definitely a clue, this is definitely it. And he waits for no one to be around, nobody's looking, nobody's paying attention. He grabs a machete, he breaks it off, he looks inside, and there's an immunity idol. Boom, immunity idol. He found the last immunity idol of the game, and also the last test from Rob and Sandra that they left, and there's a little note in there from them that says, you didn't think we'd let you leave without one last test, did you? Congratulations, you found the last hidden immunity idol on Island of the Idols. You're awesome, you know. And he has this immunity idol. So now he's won immunity. He has the immunity idol. He has the legacy advantage, which he didn't get to use because he could only use it, well, it was fake anyway, it was made by Jamal earlier in the game, but because Dan was forcibly removed from the game, which, if you guys didn't find out, it's because he touched the leg of one of the production staff, and she felt uncomfortable with it, so he was removed from the game, and they did a whole thing about that with Kelly on the reunion special. I don't have a ton to say about that, but maybe I'll touch on that in a minute. So Dan was removed from the game, which took it from 7 to 5. There was no tribal council for 6, so he couldn't actually use the legacy advantage. So he just had the legacy advantage. Now he had the immunity from the challenge, the immunity necklace, plus he had an immunity idol, and then he also had the idol nullifier. So he had all these things, and he's sitting there, he's like, I got all this, I got all my jewelry, he's like feeling like he's all fly, and he's all like proud of himself, which he should be, because that was pretty impressive. You think Elaine should have won. Well, Elaine got a little something. We'll talk about that in a minute. I was in a draft for last season, Edge of Extinction. I got 2nd place due to the twist. 2nd place due to the twist? Oh, because he handed away. Wait, who did you have? Did you have Devins? Who did you have? Am I understanding that comment correctly? I hope. So Dean's like, you know, I can't lie. That's pretty impressive. He won immunity then. He won an immunity before. Like, he really, what he said later was that he really did like a 4th quarter push. He really made it count, and when it needed to count, when he needed it, he really made some good moves and found some great advantages, and that was really awesome. Everyone's saying scope keeps freezing. That's not on my end. I'm not dropping any frames. I have nice, strong signal, so if you want to just move over to YouTube, my YouTube channel is the same username, NextJuice, N-E-X Juice, J-U-I-C-E. I don't know why it's doing that. Thank you for sharing on Facebook, Michael. Boxing, are you watching over? Oh, and Boxing, thank you for the contribution. I didn't know that was you. I just went really fuzzy. I didn't know that was you on the other day when you supported, and I was like, who was that? But I just figured out it was you today, so thank you for your $5. Not freezing on you? Who knows? I realize it's fuzzy now. I moved too much, and now my camera's like, what's happening? What's happening? Okay, there we go. Fixed it. Eunice! Beautiful hair guy. How are you? Hi. I need to brush mine. Mine's like kind of scraggly. And I brought a brush down, but I don't know where it is, and I've been looking for it, but I'm just going to ignore it for now. Okay, connection's fine. Thank you, Danny. Now, so I just wanted to compliment Dean, because people know, like, I wasn't really a big fan of Dean. I didn't really like how he called everyone goats. I thought it was really stupid that he told Tommy that everyone was going against him at that one tribal council, and it's extra stupid when you find out what happens ultimately. So anyway, they get to tribal council. The only person immune is Dean, and Janet has an idol as well. So she's like, well, I'm immune because I have an idol, so nobody can vote me out. So she said, just have everyone put their votes on me, and then I'll use my idol and get Nora out. Was it Nora or Lauren? I think it was Nora. And that's because everyone will put their votes on Janet, and then Janet will vote for Nora, and it'll get her out. Well, unfortunately, Dean had an idol nullifier, which he did decide to use. So Janet told her plan to Tommy and had everyone put their votes on her. She also, then Tommy went and told Dean and told him that he wanted to have him use the idol nullifier. Now, Dean was telling Tommy that he thought Lauren was more of a threat, so he might, I think it was actually Lauren. Yeah, I agree, Thomas, I agree. Next Use is the name of this channel, Skittish. Dean also burned the evidence. Yeah, he burned the little bamboo plank with the sign on it so that Tommy wouldn't know that he had found the idol until later on. So, yeah, everyone was telling everyone everything, which, you can't trust anyone on Survivor. So, it's a connected group of people who value positivity. Victoria, thanks for inviting your followers. I don't know what a femme yoga is. And he replaced it. Oh, I missed that part, too. That's funny. So, Dean's kind of like torn. It was actually Lauren, so he was going to get, Janet was going to get Lauren out, but Tommy didn't really want that to happen, so he's like, make sure you use the idol nullifier on Janet so that she gets out and not Lauren, because him and Lauren were very close. Although Tommy did want Lauren out because that was someone that he knew would be really tough to beat against him because she had a lot of friends on the jury. And Lauren even said that later. She's like, if I had made it far enough, I probably would have won, because everyone did like me a lot. Hey, Kelly. Hello, Skittish's cat. So during Tribal Council, everyone's talking about how Janet loves her little fire, her new stove fireplace, and they're talking about how she's the fire lady, and no one can make a fire faster than Janet, and Janet's so great at making fire. And if you've been watching the whole season, the very first episode, she made a fire from bamboo alone. No flint, no steel, no magnesium, no coconut husk. Oh, she might have had coconut husk, I don't know, but it was bamboo, like bamboo on bamboo friction fire. It was amazing, so awesome. But like I'd mentioned earlier in this broadcast, when you get to Final Four, whoever wins immunity picks one person to bring with them, and then the other two have to make fire against each other. So if there's any chance that Janet is in the Final Four, you're going to be very afraid of that, because if you have to make fire against her, you're probably not going to win. That seems to be the general consensus. So they all put their votes on Janet. She put her vote on Lauren. She used her immunity idol, and Dean used his idol nullifier, sending Janet home. And Janet was the first person voted off of the island. Not the first, but the first of the 5 to be voted out. Kapowie. I can make fire with my mind alone. All right. Please stop being gross. Thanks. All right. Now, in preparing for this broadcast, I did forget to... oh, actually, that'll work out. That'll be fine. Okay. So now we have a Final Four. Let's recap who's in this. So we have Lauren. We have Dean. We have Nora. And we have Tommy. Oh, and in terms of our pool, Janet was Wolf Puppy. So Wolf Puppy was the next person to go home. Sorry, Wolf Puppy, we love you so much. But you did not win Survivor this time around. So we were left with Lauren, who is Gina. Dean, who is Lisa Sansucci. Tommy, who is Steph Taylor Live. And Nora, who is Derek, in terms of our Survivor pool. So those are the last 4 people. Good job for making it that far. Lisa even said she reached out to Dean on Instagram and told him he had to win so she could win, and he responded back to her, and she said she fangirled out. You can make fire with a box of matches. So impressive. I don't remember the first Survivor. No, I just started watching Survivor last season, 38, with Rick Devens. All right. You'll never make fire in front of them. Right, that was what Tommy's strategy was, which was so awesome. All right, so... next, so they all go back. Janet's now gone. You have your Final Four. They go to the next challenge, the immunity challenge. And this challenge looked really challenging. Challenge. It was a bunch of letters. So there was blocks with letters on them, and the letters said Island of the Idols. But you had to, it might have even said Survivor Island of the Idols. But you had to take those letters, and it was on a balancing, you had to take as many of the letters as you could carry at once. Then you had to balance this post that had these little spots for each letter on them, and you had to balance the blocks onto each little spot for the letters, and then rebalance it. So there was a locking mechanism. So you could lock it when you were done, when you were going to go back for more pieces, you would lock it so it wouldn't fall over. But then when you came back over and put pieces on it, you had to unlock it. So you had to unlock it, hold it, balance it. And they were knocking this over left and right. It was just like boom, 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 letters everywhere. All right. If me playing with my hair isn't bothering you guys as much as it's bothering me, let's just take care of this. So everyone's doing terribly, pretty much. Dean and Nora start doing pretty well. They're both doing well. New little showmance, the one-way showmance. And ultimately, Nora ends up winning the final immunity challenge. So there's no more immunity challenges after the final 4. And you can't use idols anymore for 4 or after. So the last time the tribal council where Janet went out was the last chance for Dean to use his idol, last chance for Janet to use her idol as well. And Dean didn't need to use his idol because he knew everyone was putting their votes on Janet. So he was good. He was sitting pretty. He got to keep the immunity idol and not even use it. Yeah, I'll just shave my hair out, right? Yeah, Thomas, I know. I'm watching season 7 now, and then I'm going to watch season, what's it called? What season is it? I have it open. Season 20, is it? Oh yeah, Heroes versus Villains, yeah, because I want to watch the 2 that Sandra won. Oh, thank you, Dave. I think I missed some comments. Hi, John! Hi, guys. Do I get them mixed up? Well, this one's over. 39 is over, and I wasn't watching any of the other seasons before. It's only because I'm watching it right now, so I just started watching season 7 last week. So this last episode of 39, I did mix up what one of the puzzles was with something I saw in season 7. But it's fine. Boston Rob's in Heroes and Villains, so I'll be able to see that one. But I don't know if I'm going to watch any other ones. I'm interested in, like, when people win, you know? What's the topic? Right now we're talking about Survivor. Why are you asking people how old they are? Please just be respectful. Kick back, relax, and don't make people feel uncomfortable. That'd be great. I love the movie Elf. It did not, Danny. All right. Focus. Danny Bruno, focus. So Nora wins immunity. And I was very much convinced that she was going to bring Dean with her to the final 3. And it was hard to tell what she was going to do because she intentionally tortured them. She got back. They're all sitting there. They're like, can you just put us out of our misery? Can you just tell us who you're bringing? And she's like, well, I'm feeling really sandy, so I'm going to go in the ocean, and I'm going to rinse off, and I'm going to just relax for a little bit, and then I'm going to come back, and I'm going to tell you guys where I'm at and why I'm doing what I'm doing. And she does this whole thing, and they're all like going totally crazy. And however, Dean was practicing making fire like pretty much the entire day. She comes up and she's like, well, so here's the thing. Brevity's not my strong suit. I totally relate with that. So, and she goes into these long-winded speeches about why each person deserves to go to the final 3, but why she would or wouldn't. So she's like, Lauren, you're my number 1. You have been through the entire game. However, you're probably going to win the game if you make it to final 3, so you're going to have to earn your way there. I'm not going to take you. And then it's between Tommy and Dean, and she said, you know, Tommy, I know that you really suck at making fire, and you're probably not going to be able to make fire good enough to get Lauren out, so I'm going to take you to final 2 because I know Dean can make fire and beat Lauren, because we can't have Lauren go to final 3 because then none of us will win, and I want to win. And I think I have a better chance with Dean and Tommy than I do with Lauren and anybody else. So Lauren got really upset. Lauren and Nora have like basically a fight. Nora's being really annoying, honestly. It was, you know, I mean, definitely Lauren was in her feelings, as she said, but she was also just Nora was being very obnoxious. She's like, I'm just going to leave you alone. But then she didn't leave her alone. She kept talking to her, and Lauren's trying to make fire. And then Tommy pulled this little, like, very not I trust you kind of stuff, because him and Lauren had been ride or die from day one. And he told her how to make fire. He didn't really help her very much. And then he went over and he helped Dean learn exactly. Dean sucked at making fire. Lauren would have won against Dean if Tommy didn't help Dean. And he helped him a lot. And he got Dean to be able to make fire pretty well, which ultimately resulted in Dean winning the fire-making challenge. They made fire, Lauren and Dean won, which means that the next person off of the island of the idols, oh, I went the wrong way, was the lovely Miss Lauren Beck. Couldn't make fire as fast as Dean. He broke the string first. And did anyone notice that Karishma seemed really excited about that? She was like, yeah. I don't know if she didn't like Lauren or if she was just excited because she was just like a Survivor super fan and she just thought it was fun that somebody broke the rope and she was just like, excited. I don't know. But that happened. So Lauren went to join the jury. Janet is now on the jury as well. So then we have our final three, which is Dean. In our game, Lauren was Gina. So Gina made it to final four and then was out because of not being able to make fire as fast as Lisa Sansusi's person, which is Dean. And then we had Nora for Derek and Tommy for Steph Taylor Live. You like the middle one? Sabretooth bad, fire good, me caveman, I make fire. Lauren sounds like a bee. No, Lauren was really impressive. I think Lauren deserved to win, too. Damn, Lauren, mute. It was Nora being annoying. I don't know if I made that clear. So the names Nora and Lauren sound very similar, so I was actually noticing that when I was watching. I was like, I can't tell if they're talking about Nora or Lauren because their name sounds the same. She was caught up in the moment. Yeah, they were both caught up in the moment. All right, Dave, let's do that. A philosophical game? It's not stupid. Yeah, it's very much a social game. I don't scrapbook now. Why are you asking random questions? So they go to the final three, and then at this point, all they have to do is just like go back, go to sleep, and then they have to come present their case in front of the jury, and the jury is people who are voted off of the island from this season, the past, I don't know, is it 10, 15, No, I think it's like 10. The last 10 people to be voted off the island get to interview you. They ask questions. You answer their questions, and then you're allowed to give like one last case presentation, anything that you wanted to talk about that didn't come up. Present your case, make your plea to the jury, and then the jury each votes for who they want to win. So it's the one time that instead of voting for who they want off the island, they now vote for who they want to win the game of Survivor. And this was interesting. I didn't feel like any of the three, Tommy, Dean, or Nora, were very good at... Do it, Kelly. I already did. You should. I didn't feel like any of those three were very good at presenting their case or making anybody want to vote for them personally. Now, what I want to know is, does the production team and the editing team know who won before the actual finale and reunion? Because typically the reunion and finale are done live. This year it was recorded for the first time ever, which I think the theory seems to be because of the Dan situation, because they weren't sure like who was going to talk about Dan or what was going to come up, and they wanted to make sure that they could control that narrative and have it edited and have control of that situation. I definitely saw Jeff Probst doing that in a way that was very I didn't particularly care for that. I've always loved Jeff, of course. Like, I've only watched a few seasons, but he's really good at his job. Everybody seems to think the best of him. But the way that he dealt with Kelly on the stage, I thought was not as delicate as it should have been. He was very much focused on how CBS is going to do better, and they're sorry, and they're going to, like, make sure they do better from here on out, and didn't necessarily, they kept saying, you didn't have a chance to talk, let's hear from you, like, let's, this is your chance to say what you want to say. And then anytime she took a pause, he was like in there, okay, well, let me help you, let me ask you this, let me do, let me control this. And it was just like, dude, just let her say what she wants to say. Like, anyway, yes, yeah, Daniel, for sure. They screwed it up, they had to edit it. Yeah, he was uncomfortable about the situation. Well, it's not his fault, right? He was very abrasive towards Dan in the game, which I think was fine. I mean, he was obviously on the right side of that battle, I thought. But regardless. So, you know, he was very, like, defensive about CBS, and it was kind of like, dude, just let her say what she has to say. Just let her say her piece. Let her be heard, right? That would have been the best if he was just quiet and just let her talk and then said whatever he wanted to say at the end instead of interjecting in all the pauses. But that's just conversation 101. And they had a time, you know, they have some time constraint. They don't want to sit there while she's silent for a long time. You know, I can see both sides of it, but I didn't think it came across great. You could tell that they're trying to, like, keep their liability down, which is what it is, I suppose. It was kind of a damper on the season in general. So let's not talk about it anymore. So what I want to know is, does the production team know who won before the reunion and the finale? Because I don't feel like if they did, they would have edited the show the way that they did. But what do I know? I mean, I was really surprised by who ended up winning. So they asked a lot of questions. They definitely asked a lot of questions about, like, ethics and lines you're willing to cross or not cross. I don't really get what they mean by that, you know, like, obvious. I mean, it's Survivor. Like, you have to be willing to lie, betray, backstab. And if you actually want to win, you have to let people think that they're in with you and they're not really in with you. You're trying to get them out, but you don't want them to know. So you're making them seem like, oh yeah, we're best friends, and then, like, vote them out. Not because you're mean or crossing ethical boundaries, but because it's the game of Survivor. And all these people are super fans, with the exception of Nora, I think. So it was kind of weird. Some of the questions they were asking, I was kind of like, okay. I thought it was really cool that Jamal and Jack live together now. Kind of getting off topic there, but I thought that was cool. Who do I think should have won? I mean, out of the final three, I think Dean deserved to win the most. So, bum-ba-da-bum. Let's go. Who came in? Oops, clicked the wrong button. Who came in third? We'll never know how it's actually edited. Yeah, I don't mean the finale. I'm talking about the whole season. Okay, so third place went to the lovely, the crazy Miss Nora. So she didn't receive a single vote from the jury. Not a single solitary vote. And I was really surprised about that because I thought she did some impressive stuff. And she was definitely, like I said, an entertaining character to watch. And I thought Elaine really liked her. I thought at least Elaine would vote for her, but nobody voted for Nora, not a single person. Which was kind of sad. I feel like that's a bit embarrassing to be that person, but it is what it is. And then second place, runner-up, who I think gets $100,000, was Dean. So that's Lisa Sansucci and Derek. Both did not win the finale, which means, bum-ba-da-bum, the winner was Tommy Sheehan. I don't know if I'm saying that right. He won. And that was so surprising. Well, congratulations to Steph Taylor Live for winning our Survivor pool that we had going on. She got $100 yesterday. Daniel, who had Elizabeth, who was voted off several weeks ago, he actually sent an additional $10 because there was only 18 of us. So the pot was $90. So Dan sent an extra $10, which ended up being $100 for Steph. So Steph got her $100 yesterday, which was awesome. Yes, Steph Taylor Live, she won because she got assigned to Tommy. So what we do is you just Venmo at NextJuice, the NEX Juice, and once there's 20 of us, so me and my boyfriend are already in, so 18 more people can send $5, and I'm just going to start promoting it now and getting ready for the season that starts in February, the all-winner season, because we got a late start on it this season, and that's why we only had 18 people. So the first two people, like, nobody was assigned to them, and we didn't have a full $100 pot. So I think there's 20 people on server. Actually, wait, I should check the all-winner season, because I want to say maybe it was 22 people. Was it 20? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. No, it's 20. It's 20. Okay. I don't know why I thought it was 22. Okay. Good. Yeah. So 20. So if every person, well, not every person, but if 20 of us, contribute $5, then we'll have a $100 pot. And then what we do once we have the full 20 people, I make a wheel. So you'll see here, I'll do it live. There will be a wheel of all of our names, our real names, and then, or usernames, whatever, and then a wheel of all of the Survivor cast. And then we just randomly spin the wheels, and it automatically just will assign you to someone. So you don't actually get to pick the person that you think, is going to win. Because then there'd be multiple of us on one person. We'd have to split the pot multiple ways, and it's like one person wins $100. All right, that's how we do it on here. So if you send $5 via Venmo to NextJuice, NEXJuice, I'll just keep that in the $100 little pot until the end of the next season, the all-winner season, where it's going to be all people who have won the game of Survivor in the past, all coming back and competing against each other, not for $1 million this time, but for $2 million. And we'll go over who the cast is in a moment. I just want to talk a couple things about the reunion. We talked about the Kelly thing. We talked about who won. So Tommy won. Now, I thought that was really weird. I felt like Tommy was barely in the show. Like, Dean got 2 votes from the jury, and the rest of the people voted for Tommy. So Elizabeth and Aaron both voted for Dean, and I thought Dean deserved to win with his actual gameplay. And it just seemed to me like a popularity contest. It seemed like everybody liked Tommy, so therefore they voted for Tommy because they liked him better than Dean and better than Nora. And Nora got no votes, even though so Tommy didn't win a single immunity challenge. Nora won multiple immunity challenges. Dean won multiple immunity challenges. I don't know if Nora won 2 or 3. Same thing with Dean. I don't know if it was 2 or 3, but they each won at least 2 immunity challenges. Dean had an immunity idol and an idol nullifier. Nora did the challenge where she won immunity and then continued to go so she could allow her tribe to eat more food, and she didn't go eat the pancakes and everything that was available. I just felt like there was a lot of great things here, and I didn't see Tommy do anything interesting or impressive the entire game. Now, he did notice the clues at the end, and he did manage to make everyone think he doesn't know how to make fire at all and never let anyone see him make fire the entire time he was on the island so that he didn't get sent to make fire. So a couple strategy plays, the minor things, right? I don't really think that was, and he was the first person in Survivor history to win from what they call the GOAT position, which is the person who's taken to the final 3. So Nora opted to take him to the final 3, thinking she had a good shot against him, and then he ended up winning the game. And it really just seemed to me like just straight up social game, because they said that too. Like Tommy didn't have any points there's 3 categories they're supposed to judge them based upon. One is social, one is actual gameplay, like the immunity idols and immunity challenges, and then I don't know what the third one is. Is the third one survival, I think, like things around camp or something, actually surviving on the island. I don't remember what the third part is, but they said that he had pretty much 0 on 2, but he had a really good social game. So it's if someone can win Survivor just by being really likable, that I don't really personally like that. What do you guys think? How do you feel about that? Because, Tommy's crew was on the jury, but who was his crew, really? I mean, I thought it was just him and Lauren most of the time. I remember early on thinking, he's doing a pretty good job playing both sides, he's kind of in between both sides. Sandra made a good point at the reunion where she said that everyone that came to Island of the Idol said that, Tommy was their number one. They're in with Tommy, and she said to Rob, everybody's in with Tommy. This guy, who is this guy? And he never went to Island of the Idols. He didn't get a test or challenge or anything. So it was kind of weird, right? That he won. I barely felt like he was even in the show. He wasn't a big character. He wasn't a big part of the show. And that's what made me think maybe the production team didn't know who won, and they just assumed Tommy didn't win so because he didn't do anything super exciting and impressive. So they just kind of didn't even edit. They didn't have a lot of good footage to put him in the show with. There wasn't a ton of great stuff. So outwit, outlast, outplay. So outlast, is that surviving out with little food and hospitality, no roof over your head kind of stuff. So I want to know what you guys think. Did you think that was, who should have won and how it should have gone down? I mean, Nora didn't get a single vote, and it mainly just seemed because people didn't like Nora, and then it seemed like Tommy won just because people liked him, not because he actually did anything impressive in the game. And then it's just kind of prom king and queen, right? if people like you, it's just gonna make all the likable people be targets, right? The most likable people are gonna get voted out. Now, in the next season, in the all winners season, people aren't gonna vote like that. They're not gonna vote just because they like these people. They're gonna vote based on gameplay, I would assume, because they really have a lot of respect for the game, in my opinion. I also wonder, like, maybe Lauren, because Lauren was very persuasive and very smart, very, very impressive socially, in my opinion, and she was on the jury, and she and Tommy are, like, close. So maybe she swayed a lot of those people to vote for Tommy. I mean, it's hard to say. Like, I just feel like I didn't notice Tommy being, like, super close with everyone. You know, he said he was, like, controlling the game, strategizing the game and everything. I'm like, I didn't see him do anything, have any control over anything. You know, is that just poor editing? Because that's a chance that we just didn't actually see him because they just didn't put him in the show enough. Or is it just a popularity contest? He's just a nice guy, he's a 4th grade teacher. You know, he's just a nice dude, and, like, they kind of thought Nora was annoying, and they thought Dean was kind of, like, boring, and they just didn't really want to vote for either of them, so they went with Tommy. He didn't have a lot of drama. Yeah. I don't know. It was kind of anticlimactic. I was like, what the heck? Like, so many votes for Tommy. I was like, what is going on? And then he won. I was just like, that was totally out of left field from where I was sitting. Like, I was just like, what? Because I felt like the same kind of thing. Like, Dean was always, like, just kind of going along for the ride, too. Like, and he made all these big moves at the end. So this goes back to, if he had just stuck, if Dean had been comfortable being a goat and had just teamed up with Karishma, Nora, and Elaine and had those 4 and voted Tommy out that night instead of whispering in Tommy's ear at Tribal Council, Dean might have actually won the game of Survivor. Because if he was sitting next to Karishma and Nora, I mean, I don't think anyone was less likable than them. At least he would have won against them. Instead, he told Tommy, and then he lost the game to him. I mean, he did get $100,000 for being 2nd place, but still. The bigger the scene or louder the voice, more TV time. Yeah, I guess. Hey, Lisa, I'm sorry that you didn't win. Steph Taylor won. Your dude did come in 2nd place, so he got $100,000, which is pretty cool. What does being a goat entail? It's like, it's almost like a sheep. Like, you just kind of, like, go with the herd. You're kind of, like, you're brought along. It's like you're the sacrificial goat, you know? So it's like people want to sit next to you because they know you're going to lose. It's like an insult. If someone wants to take you to final 2, it's kind of like, because you think you would beat me, you know? Ramming people off the island with the forehead? No. That would be a ram. 100% he told the wrong guy. And I mean, that was I'm like, why is he telling him? He had the chance to go to dominate this game with a bunch of people he probably could have won against, with the exception of Elaine. But he could have gotten those 3, like him, Nora, and Karishma, to get Elaine out. Elaine was definitely the biggest threat, you know? So anyway, I have to go to the bathroom. I'm going to power through this next part. Another thing I really have to say about the reunion. What in the absolute heck was with the Sia Award? Did anybody notice that? You had to notice that. It's probably all over Twitter and stuff. I haven't even noticed it, but okay, here's how it goes. Sia gives cash rewards to her favorite Survivor players every year. It's her birthday gift to herself. It's her way of being generous and being part of the show, right? So it's the Sia gift, I think they call it. And they're like, she's giving 3 gifts this year. 3 gifts. 3 people are going to win cash prizes from Sia. Pop star, superstar, Sia. Yay! Jamal, Sia chose you to win $15,000. Yay, that's so awesome. That's so amazing. Jamal, we love you. Oh my God, yay. And I love Jamal, right? Because Jamal was my dude that I got assigned to. So, like, you just, like, Lisa knows, right? Like, she didn't necessarily, like, love Dean. It was just, like, you get assigned to them in this, our little game we play in here. And it's like, okay, like, that's my person. I'm going to root for them. So that's how I feel about Jamal. He gets 15 grand. Yay. Sweet. Fun. Then they go, and Elaine, Sia gives you $100,000. Awkward. And then, oh, and Janet, you too, you also get $100,000 from Sia. So Elaine and Janet get $100,000 each from Sia, which is amazingly generous and awesome. But I honestly think it would have been better for her to not give $15,000 to Jamal, because that's just weird. Like, that is such a big disparity there. Like, okay, you two get $100,000 and you get $15,000. Like, it's kind of insulting, almost like you get $15,000. It's like, if I give a couple people $100 and someone else $15, like, yeah, either split them equally or just don't do that third one. Just do the $200,000 prizes. Maybe on like the slide into Jamal's DMs, you know, Venmo him some 15 grand like later. Like, you know, Jamal, I liked you too. I'm gonna throw you some money. Like, it was just the way they said it. Like, oh, Jamal, you got $15,000. He's like, yeah. And then it's like, oh, Elaine, you got $100,000. And then Jamal was like, what the fuck? I was like, yeah. And it's like, of course you should be grateful for whatever you get. And, you know, 15 grand is still maybe like a year's rent or something like that. But it was weird. I don't know if you guys felt that same way. I felt super weird about it. I was like, what? Maybe 50 grand, 100 grand. That's a little better. Like 50 grand's a pretty good chunk. 15 grand is almost like, what? I don't know. I'd be interested to know what he has to say about that, because he is very, he's very well spoken, and he definitely talks a lot about like cultural dynamics and race and, you know, this two white ladies versus this one black guy. Obviously they're women, so they could still be considered part of the minority, but, you know, and this coming from a woman who's like pro-women. And of course Elaine and Janet were the most popular people. Like, obviously that was like everybody's favorite person, but it was still very odd. I felt like it put him in a weird position where he then had to like celebrate their giant $100,000 gifts, and like everyone probably felt kind of weird, like, why Jamal get 15 grand? It's kind of random. Like, I felt weird, and I don't even know them, so I don't know. The gift suddenly feels like an insult. See what she did there? Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it was kind of weird. Like, it was just such a big difference that I was kind of like, okay. It just struck me weird, and I just had to say it, because I was like, I'm definitely going to bring that up, because that was really weird from where I was sitting. So that's pretty much everything I think I have to say about the reunion. If there was something else you guys want to talk about or bring up, let me know. But I'm going to move on now to the all-winner season. So if you recall, wait, before I get to that, let me switch back. But if you recall from this season, Island of the Idols, not only were there idols in the game of Survivor this season, as there has been for, I didn't see that, Lisa, no, as there has been for the past several seasons, but there was also human idols, which are Sandra Diaz Twine, who is the only person in Survivor history, which celebrates its 20th year and 40th season in February. She's the only one who has won 2 Survivor seasons. She won $2 million prizes by winning the game of Survivor twice. Super impressive. And Boston Rob, who has also won once before and been featured on the show Survivor and seen on the show Survivor more than any other Survivor cast member. And these two acted as mentors and advisors for the Survivor players. Now, yeah, they're awesome. I love them so much. So they are going to be part of this all-winner season called Winners at War, where there's going to be 20 people competing for a $2 million prize, and they've all won Survivor before. They've all won $1 million before. Sandra's won it twice, and now she's going to try to win it for a third time and win $2 million. So let's go over the cast of that. And if you guys want to get in on a pool for this season, I'm going to start taking the Venmos now, because I want to make sure we have our full 20 people. And the cast's already been announced, so we can already start assigning people once we have 20 of us. So me and Ed are already in, me and my boyfriend. Venmo me at NextJuice, NEXJuice, JUICE, if you want a chance to win for the all-winner season. And we're just going to randomly assign each one of us to one of the cast members. I do it live, so you can see it's just like a wheel that we spin, no rigging or anything. If I was rigging it, I would have put Tommy for myself, okay? I got Jamal. It's not like I know who's going to win anyway, so yay. So if you want to do that, Venmo at NextJuice. All right, so here is the cast for the all-winner season. Boston Rob, Adam Klein. All right, guys, I really have to pee, and like I want to be able to talk about these people, so I'm actually gonna you want to just look at this guy's face for a while, and then I'll be right back. I love you guys. Here's this guy's face. No, not PayPal, because my PayPal's a business and I can't. It'll take a percentage away, and I don't take any type of percentage for this. All the full $5 times 20. It's a $100 prize for the winner. I'll be right back. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. I just really had to pee, and I was like, I want to be able to talk about this more, so. Whew, I ran. You could tell by my face being all red. Hi, Laura. Hi. Okay, so let me check something real quick. Hey, guest. I'm good. How are you? No, that's not what I want. I want this. Okay, there we go. So I'll be able to check if anybody sends a Venmo. All right. I didn't fall in. Maybe I did, but I didn't drown. All right. So let me go back up because I don't really. So some of you guys are Survivor super fans, and I'm not. So I don't know like any of these people. $5. It'll be $5 if you want to be entered in the Survivor pool, which means you get randomly assigned to one of these winners for the Winners at War season that starts in February. And then we see whoever wins at the end of the season, you get $100. Like Steph Taylor just got $100 yesterday, and she didn't even watch the season. I don't think she watched a single episode of Survivor or a single episode of my recaps, and she still won $100 by putting in the $5 early on. So it's worth it even if you're not into Survivor. I mean, I don't know if it's worth it, right? Like, you might be out, you're much more likely to be out $5 than you are to be up $95. You know, subtract the 5 you put in. But it's fun. It's fun because we refer to them as you, right? So it's like, oh, Laura is being so obnoxious, you know, like one person was assigned to Dan, and Dan got removed from the game for inappropriate touching. So it's kind of like, you might get assigned to that person. You just never know. Yeah, so it was fun. Matt was assigned to Elaine, who's like a crowd favorite. I personally think they'll bring Elaine back for another season because she is just so easy to love and such an interesting, awesome person. They might even bring Nora back someday because Nora was so entertaining and kind of like wild. I don't know if anybody else on the season I think they would bring back, but Nora and Elaine I think stand a fighting chance. All right, so Boston Rob is the first person they have here. So he won Redemption Island. He's played multiple times. He was once beat in one season. I wish they put her next. So let me just scroll down to her real quick. He got beat one year by this girl named Amber, who is now his wife, and they have 4 children together. They met on Survivor, got married, and have 4 kids, and they're both going to be on the all-winner season this upcoming February, which is really only now less than 2 months away. So that's exciting. And he was the one, Boston Rob, on the Island of the Idols as one of the mentors and idols for this season, 39. There's this guy, Adam Klein, who won Survivor Millennials versus Gen X. Ben Drybergen, winner of Survivor Heroes versus Healers versus Hustlers. One hell of a babysitter bill. Well, they'll be able to pay it with their $2 million. He said in the, there's like a little clip, you can check it out on CBS's Twitter page. There's like a clip of the promoting the Winners at War, and they showed this clip during the reunion special after the finale. And Rob's going, you know, it would be really sad for our kids to have to see Daddy vote Mommy off the island. And then Ed was next to me, and he's like, he would too, he would. Hi, Mark, how are you? I got my gift from you today, and I'll be doing a broadcast after this, thanking everyone for the gifts that I got. I got a few gifts in the mail, and maybe we'll wrap some presents too. And I have to pick a new, yay, Laura! Okay, so Laura just entered the Survivor pool, so now there's 3 of us in it, me, Ed, and Laura. So when we get to 20 is when we assign everyone, because we don't start assigning them soon, because then it's like, you know who you might get or you might not get. Like, once we have all 20 people that sent $5, we'll spin the wheels and we'll assign everyone, even if it's this far ahead of the season starting, and then we'll be ready when it starts. I'll do the same thing I did this season, where I do a recap every Wednesday night after the episode is over and talk about what happened, who got voted out, and who's still in it, and all that fun stuff. Yay, Laura, it's gonna be so fun. Thank you for jumping in. I have to make like a new Survivor pool list, but that's okay. I don't use Venmo for anything else, so anyone who sends me money through Venmo, I know it's for this. I got the book. Yes, I did. So I'll talk about that on my next broadcast. Hi, Sarah. Can you believe Tommy won? Like, oh, maybe I should make sure that you knew that. Like, what in the actual heck? What? Okay, I thought Dean was going to win, but regardless. Here we go. Back to the people. So Ethan Zone, now they showed, he was the winner of Survivor Africa, and he was the one who, in the trailer, said, I believe he said that he has non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, if I'm saying that right, and it's a miracle that he even gets to participate in that. So that's pretty amazing. I was very touched by that. That's what I got, Mark. That is what I got. I don't know what book you were talking about. Jeremy Collins, winner of Survivor Cambodia. Nick Wilson, winner of Survivor David versus Goliath. Tony Vlachos, winner of Survivor Cagayan. I'm not sure I said any of those words right. Hey Tiger, hey Jim, hey Jim Ulmer. Ed was like, oh, Tony's gonna be on it. He got excited when he saw that. Now again, I'm not a super fan, and I don't know who any of these people are because I just started watching like last season, 38. So I don't know what to say. You thought Nora was gonna win, really? Yeah, no, I was pretty sure she wasn't gonna win. The Blue Dead book. No, I didn't get that one, Mark. I didn't get that one yet. Tiger, yeah. So I just did a recap of I've been doing recaps every single week of season 39, Island of the Idols, and then the finale and reunion special from 2 nights ago. And now I'm talking about next season that starts in February, the all-winner season, Winners at War, which is all previous winners of Survivor coming together, 20 people, all battling it out. And we're doing a pool again this season. Oh, you hope I get selected? Oh, me being on Survivor? I did, Matthew, you just friended me on Venmo? You don't have to friend me. I mean, I'll accept your friend request, but you can just send 5 without the friending thing if you want. I don't know if you know how to use it, but just let me know. I didn't see the money come through. I just want you to know. I saw that you sent a friend request, but I don't think you're in it yet, but I'll tell you. I think we'll have time. I don't think like 20 people are going to jump right on this right away, but you never know. So get in while you still can, because I'm not accepting. I'll just refund anybody who sends money past the 20 people limit, because I can't. There'll be nobody to assign you to. All right. What was I saying? Next season will be sick. Yeah, I'm really, really excited. I've seen every season. Okay, so Jim, you know all these people then. Okay, there it is. All right, I got it, Matt. It just took a minute to come through. Yeah, I just got $5. So Matt's in it. Now, whoever Matt gets assigned to is probably going to be like the nicest, most amazing. He's probably going to get assigned to that person. What was his name? Ethan. This is my prediction, that Matt is going to get assigned to Ethan's Zone, because he seems like he's probably a really likable guy, and Matt got assigned to Elaine this last season in the pool, which was like the best person to ever be assigned to ever, because everybody loves Elaine and everybody loves Matt, so it's perfect. All right. Tyson Apostle, winner of Survivor Blood versus Water. Mark, please tell me you're using Venmo, because I know you used PayPal last time, remember? And there was a whole issue because it was like, so here's the thing. So don't do it through my website, through PayPal or anything like that. I know that's probably confusing. I should probably just take that down, because this is for my show. This is for my channel, for my live streaming. The Survivor thing is something we do as friends for fun, like in the background. Like, it's not something that I talk about on my broadcast every day. So this is for the show in general and the community. So if you send it to me through PayPal through here, I have to pay for my business fee. So I have to pay 30 cents plus 2.9% transaction fee for every transaction. So if you send $5 there, you basically destroyed the pot because now like I only get like 3 something from that. So what would I get? $5 times 30 cents, so $1.50. So $1.80, 5 minus $1.80, I would get $3.20. So then instead of being a $100 pot, we would have a $97.20 pot, or $98.20 pot, which we don't want. We want $100, right? So Venmo at NextJuice, at NEX Juice, Juice. And I know you know this, Mark, because you tried to send it through PayPal last time and it messed us up. So just Venmo, please. My big family has watched every season. It's going to be crazy. Oh my God, Jim. I should have you as like a co-host to help me, because I don't know these people and I'm going to be like, I don't know who these people are. I have no preconceived notions of anyone except Rob and Sandra at this point. Okay, so we have Wendell Holland, winner of Survivor Ghost Island. Yul Kwan, winner of Survivor Cook Islands. Sandra Diaz Twine, winner of Survivor Pearl Islands and Survivor Heroes vs. Villains. Love her so much. So much. We talked about Amber. This is Rob's wife now, and she was the winner of the All-Stars. Danny Boatwright, winner of Survivor Guatemala. Denise Stapley, winner of Survivor Philippines. Yeah, I know, Mark. I sent some super hearts for that. You love Amber. Ooh, well, let's hope you get her then, Laura. Sandra's the only two-time winner. Yeah, I was talking about that earlier. The only person to win Survivor twice in the history of the show, which is almost 20 years old now. Kim Spradlin, winner of Survivor One World. Michelle Fitzgerald, winner of Survivor Kaorong. Kaorong. Natalie Anderson, winner of Survivor San Juan del Sur. Parvati Shallow, winner of Survivor Fans vs. Favorites. She also does like a YouTube channel about Survivor now at this point, I believe. She's really pretty. I don't know if that's the best picture of her, but she's really pretty. And Ed said she's like a tiny little thing. I looked her up and she's 5'7". I'm like, I don't really put a lot of like tiny people on the show, I feel like, because they would just waste away to nothing. Sarah Lacina, winner of Survivor Game Changers. Sophie Clark, winner of Survivor South Pacific. Well, maybe you'll get some money for Christmas, and maybe it won't be full by then. And that's everybody. So that's all 20 cast members. So we're going to have a pool. And sometimes, you know what happened last year is there were some people that sponsored other people to be in the pool. Like they paid for other people to be in. So maybe somebody will do that for you if you ask them to, depending on who out there would do that. It's going to be epic. How do winners stay under the radar? Yeah, especially Sandra. So my prediction is Sandra's going to be the first one targeted because she's already won twice and they're just not going to mess around. Like, no, you won twice, you're gone. And she has an alliance with Boston Rob, most likely, because of the Island of the Idols season, plus Amber, which is his wife. So it's like a pretty strong three-person alliance they could already have, and I just feel like they're going to be so targeted for that. Like, they're going to be like, Sandra, Rob, Amber, get out of here. That's my guess. That makes sense, you know, but at the same time, it never goes the way you think it's going to go. You just never know. So we're going to find out. I hope you guys enjoyed this. So that is a sneak peek into the cast and theme for the Survivor Season 40 Winners at War, all winners season. We had Laura and Matt enter the pool today, so now there's 4 of us in the pool, me, Ed, Matt, and Laura. We're all going to be, we all contributed $5 to Venmo, just Venmo at NextJuice, NEXJuice, Juice. And once we get to 20 people, we're going to randomly start assigning each one of us to one of the cast members in the all winners season, and then if that winner wins, we win $100. If you want. And that's Venmo at NextJuice, not my website. This is if you want to support this channel, if you like this community, if you like what I do on here, if you want to support me and my schooling and this show, great. That's how you support that. But this doesn't get you in the pool, and the Venmo doesn't go towards me. The Venmo just goes towards that pool for Survivor. But you can also like sponsor other people to be on. So if you send $5 for yourself to be in, you can send $5 to get Sarah in too, because Sarah loves Survivor and she doesn't have the $5 to enter the pool. So, you know, whatever you guys want to do. I love you guys. Oh, and Mark Gage was in it this season too. He was attached to Karishma, who won the first pool. Steph Taylor live, because she was attached to Tommy. So she won. She got $100 yesterday. $100.58, because Danny Bruno sent like a random number of cents over and above. Danny was attached to Jason, who got voted out like a long time ago. Who even remembers who Jason was? Just kidding, Jason. Love you. I was attached to Jamal, so I don't have a whole lot of room to talk. I'm just glad I made it to the jury. Ed was attached to Jack. Here, I'll show you guys who everyone was. So we had a lot of broadcasters in it that you guys probably know if you watch Periscope anyway. So Ronnie was the first person voted out. So like I said, there was only 18 of us in it this past season. It wasn't all 20, so we missed the first 2. So him and Molly, the first 2 voted out. There was nobody attached to them because we were It's not illegal, Mark. What the hell? Okay. So Lauren was Gina. Elizabeth was Daniel. Missy was Casey. Oh my god, hi Casey, if you guys don't know. Janet was Wolf Puppy. Kelly was Frankie Cervantes. Dean was Lisa Sansucci. Tom was Our Club. I believe Our Club was Tom. I loved Tom. I really liked Tom a lot. Jason was Danny Bruno. Aaron was my friend Amanda from high school. Vince was Sonam. Sonam 108 Top Shelf Pineapple. Jack was Ed, my boyfriend. Karishma was Mark Gage. Nora was Derek, whose idea it was to start this whole pool. Tommy was Steph Taylor Live. Jamal was me. Dan was Dan on Fleek. Elaine was Matthew Gold. And Chelsea was Asif, the last Asif. And that was it. So congratulations, Steph, for your $100 win. If you guys want to get in on another chance to win $100, there's two ways. One, if you want to do the Survivor thing and be attached to a Survivor member for the All Winners season, which starts in February, just Venmo me at NextJuice $5, and you're entered. You're good to go. I'll let you know who you get assigned to. And when we do it, we have to wait till there's 20 of us, and then we'll do the assignments, and I'll let you know who you got before the season starts. And if we don't have 20 people before the season starts, it kind of sucks because then we can't start it right away. So basically, let's say there's like 19 of us, right? So then we basically just wait for the first person to get voted out, and then we assign it then, because it's the fairest way, right? Because otherwise there's just like some random person in the game that's not any of us, and it increases our chances of winning. But it's more fun if there's 20 of us, you know. So Venmo. And then if you want to be entered to win $100 from supporting this channel on a monthly basis, which I do every single month on the 17th of the month, you can do that at nextjuice.com/support. The link's in the description. It has nothing to do with the Survivor pool. That's just a great way to support this channel. So I love you guys. Yeah, Asif and Chelsea, they look the same. They might as well be the same person, just like me and Jamal. I hope to see you guys on the next juice. Please follow me if you're not already doing so on Periscope, where I go live every single day, 7 days a week for 3 hours a day. And I'm going to go live right now picking a new dare because we did get $100 on the website yesterday. Thank you to Cliff and JB for the sponsorships yesterday. One sent 40, one sent 60. We got 100, and now I have to draw a new dare. I do a new dare every time I get 100,000 super hearts or $100 on the website in one day. So I have to draw a new dare, and I'm going to say thank you for all the gifts I got in the mail today. I also have a book, a children's book that I read that Jane Sarami wrote. You guys might know her from here on Periscope, so I'm going to be talking about that. I read it with the kids tonight, and yeah, we'll just like hang out for about an hour and a half on my next broadcast. So I hope to see you guys on the next juice. This has been a moment in time with Taylor. Thank you to Matt and Laura for joining the pool and having some fun with us. And I hope to see you guys in a few minutes. This has been a moment in time with Taylor.